Okay, today's video is going to be on field stripping the Ruger 1022. As always, we want to check safe fit. First thing we need to do is remove the magazine. Mine being older model from the 90s, it just has a flat mag release button. Press it in, magazine pops out. As you can see, I have the tri-mag assembly. Kind of glad I picked it up. It was about $20 and allows you to put 3 box mags together and have yourself 30 rounds ready to go. First thing we need to do for disassembly, now that we got the magazine out, is we want to lock our bolt back. Now you have your lock bolt latch right here. It's kind of got some teeth on it. What you're going to do is pull your bolt back, press in the latch, holding the latch, slowly bring your bolt forward. Now it's open, we can check safe it. Take a look inside there, verify your feed path, verify your chamber, verify your mag well. This firearm is unloaded, there's no bullets, it is safe to work on. Now to release our bolt lock, I'm going to come back to that bolt lock lever, pull the handle back, press and depress that lever, slowly bring your bolt forward. It's closed. However, now the firearm's cocked. To decock it so you don't have to dry fire it, you're going to pull this back, just how you hit resistance. Go a little bit more. Pull the trigger while holding the trigger. Allow your bolt to go forward slowly. And there you go, decocked. So now we need to take off the barrel band. It has a slot screw on there. You really need to just loosen it enough to where it'll slide off. Down over your front sight, set it aside. Come to the bottom of the stock. We got your takedown screw over here. Again, it's slot. Once that's out, lift your stock at the front, push it back. Now, at this point, in the receiver here, we have your bolt stop pin and 2 receiver pins. Mine are pretty loose, so I just simply give it a little tap. A little bit of convincing. They all come out. Sure, receiver pins and your bolt stop pin. It's just a little bit fatter. Once those are all out, you can lift up your trigger assembly. At this point, your ejector is going to want to drop out. Just remember when we reinstall. Just make sure that your ejector is back in down in its little slot here. Now at this point, we can go and push the hammer down. If not, in my experience, the hammer spring assembly down there tends to want to come out. So when I cock the hammer, it just keeps it all in place. It's your trigger group. You don't need to take any of that apart today. I'll just set that aside. Now to take the barrel off, you got 2 barrel retaining screws. They are a hex screw, or hex head, 5/32. So we'll go ahead and pop those out. Now they seem to be unnecessarily long. I don't know, I think they're about 1.25 inches long, maybe 1.5 inches. But I mean, it is a Ruger. It's a well-built firearm. It's not punky like I've seen some 22 LR semi-automatic rifles that you can get for a couple $100, and the metal on them is just so thin. It's pretty easy to strip out a piece on the receiver or something. And Ruger, it's built quite well. Anyway, so we got the screws out. We can now just remove our barrel retainer, set it aside, and simply pull our barrel out, set it aside. So in the receiver, what we have left is the bolt handle and the bolt itself. To get this out, we're going to pull the bolt handle back, just like that. and pull up on the front of our bolt. Comes right out. The bolt handle itself just lifts right out, just like that. Okay, we'll give a quick little look-see on all the parts out on the table. As you can see, there's really not a whole heck of a lot to it. It's a pretty simple gun to take apart and put back together. Now, with our bolt handle, see the little groove here and how wide it is? That's going to correspond to the underside of our bolt. It's going to fit together just like that. Okay? But you have to put them in separately. Okay, at this point, we're going to take our handle, bring it in, line it up with that little stopper in there. Once you got it in, sits in there just like that. We're going to grab it, depress it all the way, hold it on the outside with my thumb. We're going to grab our bolt, drop the back in, lower the front in. Now with a little bit of pressure on the front, you're going to press down as you release this bolt handle a little bit. There you go. It's locked in place. It's all good to go. Okay, so now at that point, we're going to grab our trigger assembly, keeping in mind you want the ejector to stay up. Set it in place. I want to put in our receiver pins. Put in our bolt stop pin. Grab our barrel with that little groove up. Push it in as far as it goes. Grab our barrel retainer, put it on. Barrel retaining screws. Okay, now what I like to do before I snug it up, well, there goes the bolt stop pin. Told you they're loose. I like to look down and make sure my sights are lined up square with my rail on the receiver. Once I have that to where it looks good and true, then I'll snug down my barrel retainer. Okay, at this point you want to make sure that your safety is in kind of about midway between safe and fire. You want to take your stock. If you notice inside there's this kind of raised part, and it's going to fit in this little groove here. So I always kind of come in on an angle, drop it down, rock it forward. It kind of slips into place. Tighten down our takedown screw over here. Grab our barrel band, slide it over the sight, pop it into place, tighten it down. I'll apologize now for my Boston Terrier in the background having a big old snore while she's asleep. A little snug up there on my takedown screw. There we go. The Ruger 1022. Give it a little function test. Charge it again. Safety's on. Good. Working well. Now at this point, we're going to want to decock the hammer so we don't have to dry fire it. There we go. That, my friends, is the Ruger 1022 semi-automatic firearm rifle. It's a good little gun. I enjoy it for plinking. Not uncommon for me to go and drop a couple hundred rounds through it at the range. As always, be safe. Assume every firearm is loaded before working on it or cleaning it. Abide by all federal, state, and provincial rules for transportation and storage. Have fun and be safe.